Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I read you those cryptocurrency news articles so you don't have to. But yeah, welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Yes, this week's just moving on by. Just another busy day here at the Crypto Club. Lots of events. We had the Bitcoin Ben show this morning. We streamed live. Now we got my show at noon. And then later on tonight, if you're in the Sarasota area, stop on by. We have our Wednesday show called Women's Voices with Clara Bozeman. It's kind of like a little concert too for you sometimes, because Clara brings her keyboard, she plays music, but then also she covers women's topics. Like last week they talked about the dark side of Disney, so very deep subject and topic out there. So definitely a great live show if you want to come on down to it. But yeah, let's go through the news articles today. What's going on in the space? We got billionaires saying that like everyone should have Bitcoin in their portfolio because it's the best way to hedge against inflation. We got Michael Saylor calling for no more bear markets really happening. Like it's just not going to happen, and Bitcoin's just going to go to $1 million. We have still another state that doesn't want a strategic Bitcoin reserve, so that added to like the other 4 states that didn't want it right now as well. But Louisiana is also establishing to look into crypto and AI and blockchain studies and how it affects the market. And then we actually have some altcoin news to cover as well. So it's been a while since we've seen some altcoin news. Does that mean we're finally going to get into the altcoin season soon? Because I don't know, at first I was postponed, but now we're getting some more articles about ETH, we're getting some articles about the metaverse. So we'll see where things go. But let's go through the news and just hear about what's going on. But first up, we'll take a look at the markets, and we're just in a sea of green right now. So it's a very nice day. It's not so red. This is just the day chart. Everything's in green right now. So love it. But let's start off with our first article on how billionaire Paul Tudor Jones says that Bitcoin should be in every person's portfolio as a U.S. debt mounts. So that's right. The billionaire investor sees Bitcoin, gold, and stocks as keys to protecting wealth in an inflationary era. Now, what you need to know about this is that Paul Tudor Jones says that Bitcoin should be in every portfolio right now to hedge against inflation. He also believes that the U.S. is in a debt trap and that the policymakers will allow inflation to run hot to manage it. And President Trump is likely to appoint an uber dovish Fed chair to replace current central bank chief Jerome Powell, said Jones. So that's what we're going to take a look at with this article. But billionaire investor Paul Tudor Jones says that Bitcoin isn't just a speculative asset, it's a necessity in the current economic environment that we live in right now. Now, in a Bloomberg TV interview, Jones argued that the U.S. is stuck in a debt trap and that policymakers will likely keep real interest rates below inflation to reduce the burden. Now, President Trump, Jones said that it will likely appoint an uber dovish Fed chair to replace Jerome Powell, whose term atop the U.S. central bank ends next year. That means higher prices, lower purchasing power, and greater risk for traditional portfolios. Jones continued to hedge against that scenario. Tudor Jones believes that every portfolio should consist of Bitcoin, gold, and stocks. Now, it would be some combination of volume-adjusted Bitcoin, gold, and stocks, Jones said, and noting that Bitcoin's price swings are much steeper than those of gold, so position sizes should vary. Still, he was clear that's probably your best portfolio to fight against inflation right now. So he's calling it that Bitcoin is your best bet for what we're about to experience. Now, Jones, who runs the $16 billion macro hedge fund, Tudor Investment Corp, has long been vocal about using Bitcoin as an inflation hedge. While he previously suggested allocating 1 to 2%, this time he declined to give a number, though he reiterated his strong conviction. His remarks came after a fresh consumer price index data Wednesday morning showed inflation rising 2.4% over the past year, slightly before the forecast. So yeah, he's just believing that it still should be in everybody's portfolio, just because I don't know, like what do we see with I'm starting to hear more about the Trump Elon thing going on. It's like there's nothing we can do about this debt right now. So that's what like some of the rumors going out there. It's just going to go wild. And if you want to hedge and protect yourself, get Bitcoin. So that's definitely one thing. He's saying get gold and stocks too. I would say no to the stocks, but get gold, silver, precious metals. Bitcoin, gold, precious metals. Those should be solid to fight against inflation. That's my thoughts on that. But yeah, this is just one billionaire saying this out there. Take it as it is. But now let's talk about another billionaire who says there's going to be no more bear market and Bitcoin's going to $1 million. Who is it? Michael Saylor, of course, that's right. So Michael Saylor said in a Bloomberg interview that the bear market is not coming back and Bitcoin is going to a million. So let's hear his thoughts. So today, the executive chairman and CEO of Strategy, Michael Saylor, commented on the company's aggressive Bitcoin-based strategy in a recent interview at Bloomberg, emphasizing that Bitcoin is not going to zero, it's going to a million. Now, he said, I think we're in a digital gold rush, and you've got 10 years to acquire all your Bitcoin before there's no Bitcoin left for you, Saylor said. Now, the competition is a virtuous competition. And here is that interview from it that was tweeted out by Bitcoin Magazine. But Saylor also said that Bitcoin is not going to have bear markets anymore, and that the price is just going to go to 1 million per coin. Nothing else. Now, winter is not coming back, commented Saylor. He said that we are past that phase. If Bitcoin is not going to zero, it's going to a million. We got the president of the United States is determined. He supports Bitcoin. The cabinet supports Bitcoin. Scott Bessent supports Bitcoin. Paul Atkins is showing himself to be enthusiastic behavior of Bitcoin digital assets. Bitcoin has gone through its risky period, Saylor said. So it's just going there. He also pointed out that the international firms are rapidly entering the space. We got Metaplanet is the hottest company in Japan right now. They went from $10 million to $1 billion market cap to a $5 billion market cap. They're going to raise billions of dollars, and they're going to pull the liquidity out of the Japanese market. So they'll be raising capital in Tokyo and Tokyo Stock Exchange. It's not competitive, it's cooperative. Now, Strategy's approach is far from traditional. The company is not just buying and holding Bitcoin, it's building financial instruments around it, which Saylor believes sets them apart from everybody else. He said our company has a very particular business model. He stated it's to issue Bitcoin-backed credit instruments like Bitcoin-backed bonds and especially Bitcoin-backed preferred stocks. We're the only company, and where did I just lose that? I just still at we're competing against ETS. He said, yeah, here we go. He said, we're the only company in the world that's ever been able to issue a preferred stock backed by Bitcoin. We've done 3 of them in the past 5 months. And rather than viewing Bitcoin treasury holdings or ETFs as competitors, Saylor explained that Strategy is targeting a different segment of the market entirely. He said that we're not competing against the Bitcoin treasury companies. We're competing against ETFs like PFF that have portfolios or preferred stocks or corporate bond portfolios that are trading as ETFs in the public market. And the way we compete is we offer 400 basis points more yield on an instrument that is much more heavily collateralized and more transparent. That's $100 trillion or more of capital in those markets, explained Saylor. Now, he emphasized that Strategy's Bitcoin balance sheet gives it a unique edge against giving the company the ability to design unique financial products. Now, our advantage is that we're 100% Bitcoin. It's impossible to issue Bitcoin-backed convertible preferred and Bitcoin-backed fixed preferred unless you're willing to make 100% of your balance sheet Bitcoin. So that sets them apart. Now, he also finished off and said that I'm not really worried about competition from JP Morgan or Berkshire Hathaway, concluded Saylor. He said, I would love for them to enter the Bitcoin space, buy up a bunch of Bitcoin. When they do it, they'll be paying $1 million a Bitcoin. The price will go to the moon. So he wants them to get in because he just knows they're going to be getting in at a much higher price. So this is Saylor saying Bitcoin's going to 1 million. Do you believe it that there's no more bear market? Me, I think so. I do not think we're going to get a bear market anymore just because the phases have changed. We've already seen it. It's proven itself. Sure, we're getting all these news articles now revolving the altcoin space, so we may be seeing another altcoin news. And I still feel like as long as we get an alt season, that will still have a bear market dip. But when it comes to Bitcoin, I think it's going to separate from that market in general. So I believe in Saylor, or I believe what Saylor has to say about that. I also like what Paul Tudor Jones has to say, where everybody just needs that Bitcoin on their balance sheet because it is what it is. But that's our first 2 news articles for you. Now let's go for that was positive news for Bitcoin. Now let's go for some naysayers out there who kind of like seeing the world burn. But Connecticut lawmakers vote to prohibit crypto use in its government. So that'll probably change down the road, but this is what's going on right now. They're joining the team of like 5 other states out there that kind of don't want it as well, but they will soon change their tune as well. But Connecticut has joined the growing number of U.S. states rejecting the notion of a state Bitcoin reserve, prohibiting government entities from making crypto investments and payments. They emphasize growing like it's a huge number, like everyone doesn't want it. That's not true. It's like, I think only 4 other states outside Connecticut that did this. We already got New Hampshire, Arizona, and Texas, and I'm sure a couple more down the road. But Connecticut lawmakers unanimously passed a bill prohibiting state and local government divisions from accepting cryptocurrency payments and holding crypto assets. Now, the House Bill 7082, titled An Act Concerning Various Revisions to the Money Transmission Status, State Payments and Investments in Virtual Currency, received bipartisan support and was signed into law on Tuesday. Now, the Bitcoin document stipulates that neither the state nor any political subdivision of the state shall accept Bitcoin or accept payments in cryptocurrency or purchase crypto assets. Now, here is a part of that Section 6 article. Neither the state nor political subdivision shall state accept required payments in virtual currencies to or purchase or hold investments. Now, the legislation also prohibits the state of Connecticut from establishing a crypto asset reserve, making it one of the few U.S. states that have explicitly rejected the idea of the crypto asset reserves. Now, Democrats are pushing the bill, so kind of makes sense. But first presented by Connecticut's Joint Committee on Banking in February 2025, the bill was co-sponsored by Democrats including State Representative Ken Gucker, Senator Patricia Miller, and Senator Matthew Lesser. Now, since the first vote in May, the bill has received widespread support from the House, with 105 votes supporting the bill and only 42 lawmakers voting against it in a vote on May 14th. Now, the latest passage came from 148 votes in favor of the bill and 0 opponents with 3 absentees. Now, here was that voting records of it all. So we got the House, the Senate, House again, House, and joint. Now, some online commentators cited that Democratic Party's significant majority in Connecticut is a key driver of the unanimous vote, especially amid the party's broader criticism of President Donald Trump's involvement with meme coins and digital assets. Now, one related proposal, the Modern Emoluments and Malefications Enforcement Act, or the MEME Act, aims to prevent federal officials from using their positions to profit from meme coins. Now, the ban does nothing of substance. According to some online industry observers, Connecticut's ban on crypto investments by the state is likely driven by concerns over volatility and regulation, but it could become a barrier to innovation. On the other hand, Brogan Law founder Aaron Brogan told Cointelegraph that the ban does nothing of substance at all, and rather just reflects that some subset of Democrats are being polarized against the cryptocurrency industry, likely because of its association with Trump, and I kind of see that too. Now, this is signaling that Connecticut is symbolically opposed to cryptocurrencies and to all the states that have established Bitcoin reserves, said Brogan. State legislators love to ban things that weren't happening in any way because it gets headlines without the pesky problem of actually having consequences in the real world. So yeah, just because they said that doesn't really mean anything. But Brogan also highlighted that the Connecticut governor still has to sign the law and pointed to additional disclosure requirements targeting money transmitters in the private sector. Now, that could potentially be costly and bifurcate professional practices in the way that California privacy laws have some online applications, he said. Now, there is a growing list of states rejecting Bitcoin reserves, and this is a couple. Under the Trump administration, the number of U.S. states considering Bitcoin reserve proposals has increased, with the number of strategic Bitcoin reserve bills reaching 31, according to data from Bitcoin Laws. Now, Connecticut, however, is not alone in rejecting such initiatives, with lawmakers in 5 other states. There is Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Pennsylvania killing SBR bills in February alone. So that was just 5 of the states out there. But again, in March, Utah Senate passed a Bitcoin bill, but amended it to remove a section that would have authorized the state treasury to invest in Bitcoin. And the state of Oklahoma followed in April, as the Senator Revenue and Taxation Committee also rejected a SBR proposal in a 6-5 vote. But the list of states rejecting Bitcoin reserve bills, related bills, continued to grow in May, with Florida indefinitely just postponing its SBR bill, so they didn't get rid of it. It's just been postponed in early May, and Arizona's governor vetoing 2 crypto bills. She voted 2, but then 1 went through, I remember, in Arizona. So It's still like, yeah, it's still here. People are still voting. States are still voting on all these things. But again, we're going to get the naysayers out there and then the new ones. It's kind of like how Saylor said in the last article. It's like, these states want to reject a strategic Bitcoin reserve bill. They eventually will be getting one. They'll probably just be paying $1 million per Bitcoin to start stacking it up. So all these states that reject them now or go against it, again, they're just going to get in at the price they deserve. But I don't know, outside of Connecticut and those other states, we do got states out there who want crypto reserves and actually want to study what's going on with how crypto, blockchain, and AI are affecting the financial system and their markets. And which state is that? This is Louisiana. So let's go through this article to learn how they want to study the crypto and blockchain technology. So the U.S. state of Louisiana has passed House Resolution 317 to establish a legislative subcommittee to study the impact of cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and artificial intelligence. Now, introduced by Representative Mark Wright, the resolution was adopted following a June 10th regular session of the House of Representatives, where it passed with unanimous support in a 90-0 vote. Now, H.R. 317 creates a new subcommittee under the House Committee on Commerce to assess how emerging technologies are shaping the state's economy, legislation, and daily life. Now, the subcommittee is required to begin its work before September 1st, 2025, and submit a final report by February 1st, 2026, now to the House of the Committee on Commerce and at the David R. Pointer Legislation Research Library. Now, the report will include an analysis of current use cases for AI, blockchain, and cryptocurrencies in Louisiana, as well as a comparison with the developments in other states. Now, the panel is tasked with evaluating cybersecurity risks, privacy concerns, and regulatory challenges, alongside opportunities related to economic growth, workforce development, and public sector innovation. So they're going to be taking a look at it all. It's like, what are the risks and what are the potential growths we can have with this? Now, it also explored whether new state laws are needed to manage these technologies safely and effectively. Now, to support an inclusive review process, the resolution calls on the subcommittee to host public hearings and gather expert testimonies, while also engaging educators, students, and business owners through dedicated community forums. Now, the subcommittee will consist of members of the House Committee on Commerce, with a committee chair or a designee presiding over the first meeting. Now, over the years, Louisiana has firmly positioned itself as a pro-crypto pioneer. In September 2024, the state became the first in the U.S. to accept cryptocurrency payments for government services, allowing residents to pay fines and fees with Bitcoin, Bitcoin Lightning Network, and USD Coin, the stable one. Now, Representative Wright has continued to champion digital asset integration, having earlier authored a Bitcoin rights bill that affirms citizens' rights to transact in Bitcoin, prohibits central bank digital currency trials, and safeguard home-based crypto mining. However, Louisiana has not yet introduced legislation to establish a state-level Bitcoin reserve, a move other states are already pursuing. Neighboring states, such as Texas, for instance, recently passed the Senate Bill 21, creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve managed by the state comptroller, and it now awaits the governor's approval, so we're still waiting on that signature. But according to data from Crypto Legislation Tracker, Bitcoin laws at least 16 U.S. states were reviewing similar bills as of June 11th. So they're still reviewing the state reserves just because we had Connecticut not be a part of it. And again, there's still 16 other ones out there. We got 3-4 already in place. And then eventually we already got the executive order for a U.S. state Bitcoin reserve. So once that goes into play, more fireworks. Definitely feel like the 4th of July, which is coming up soon. What are you guys doing for that? But yeah, so that's basically a lot of our Bitcoin news, state reserve bills, where's pricing going for that. So yeah, I think this is a good place to take a little break before we start heading into our altcoin news that I got for you. So yeah, guys, we will be right back after a word from these messages.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Men Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
And we are back. So yes, guys, if you want to get a loan out, do bulk crypto purchases, we have a lot of programs we can offer you. Check out bitcoinben.io. That'll take you to our world ventures. You can take a look at our clubs, our hotels. We're even going with the bank, and then also all of the programs we have offered to our club members out there. So yes, so definitely take a look at that. Now let's continue on with the news. Oh man, I hate this channel or website right now. There's way too many pop-ups and I can't just get rid of it. But our next article is going to be going over Cantor Fitzgerald says that Wall Street companies will lower crypto lending costs. And that's from the Salt CEO. So yeah, if you don't know who Salt Lending is, they're a company that you can borrow against your Bitcoin with. And looks like lending costs are going to be going down. So let's hear what this team member has to say about that. So here we go. So the influx of traditional finance giants like Cantor Fitzgerald and banks into crypto lending is a net positive that will lower capital costs, but crypto native lenders must leverage their expertise and community trust to remain competitive, said Sean Owen, CEO of Salt Lending. Now, speaking with Bazinga, Owen emphasized that these institutions will likely partner with firms like Salt to navigate the complexities of digital asset lending. Now, the entrance of players like Cantor Fitzgerald and traditional banks into crypto lending is a net positive. It will likely drive down the cost of capital as more institutions look to earn yield through Bitcoin and digital asset exposure, Owen said. Now, however, he noted that managing digital custody and underwriting crypto-backed loans requires nuanced expertise. He said that we believe many of these institutions will ultimately look to partner with crypto-native lenders like Salt, who have the platform's experience and trust of the community to bridge the gap. Now, Owen's comments come as Salt Lending announced the launch of Salt Shield, a no-liquidation solution for Bitcoin-backed loans. So according to a press release shared with Benzinga, Salt Shield protects borrowers from margin calls and forced liquidations due to market volatility, offering peace of mind and no surprise tax events. Now, the feature, structured as an over-collateralization buffer backed by Salt's treasury and customer-supplied assets, has already protected over $20 million in collateral within a week of its launch. Now, Salt Shield, let's see. Here we go. Salt Shield is an optional feature that borrowers can activate for a one-time fee, ensuring protection for the loan term, but preventing withdrawals of excess collateral to maintain security. Now, we're seeing strong demand for Salt Shield from long-term Bitcoin holders, especially those who want to avoid triggering a taxable event or who simply just want peace of mind knowing that their Bitcoin won't be at risk of liquidation, Owen said. Now, the press release highlighted additional benefits, including flexibility in managing monthly payments and protection against market downturns. Now, addressing the broader crypto lending industry, Owen stressed the need for transparency and innovation to rebuild trust after the 2022 collapse of firms like Celsius and BlockFi. Now, rebuilding trust remains the industry's top priority, and that means that more transparency, especially around rehypothecation, stronger balance sheet protections, and better education to help customers assess lender risks, he said. He also sees a centralized platforms like Salt coexisting with DeFi protocols by offering personalized support and security, while also incorporating DeFi's custody and access to innovations. Now, that's what's going on with Salt. Was there anything else to the article? Update, Benzinga? No. So, no, that's a pretty cool thing happening with Salt lending, having a Salt shield. This doesn't talk about the numbers for more like how it will protect you. So if you do want to borrow against your Bitcoin and whatnot and take a look at their new offering, go to Salt Lending, take a look at that, talk to their guys and see like what they can offer for you. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. Salt, and yeah, with Cantor Fitzgerald, banks and everything, they can't really spend the time to really look into practice like controlling the lending process themselves. So they really will most likely be partnering with Salt itself, who already has the platform, has the trust with its people, and they'll just do a partnership that way, because otherwise they got to figure it out all on their own. How does their platform work? What practices do we need? How do we keep people safe? So Salt's probably going to be doing very, very well in the future. And is that a public company? I believe they are. So yeah, so that's our Salt lending news and the Salt Shield. So pretty cool. Now let's move into some decentralized exchange news, where PancakeSwap launches a one-click cross-chain swap to simplify DeFi UXs. So this is actually pretty cool news right here, because usually in the DeFi space, you can only usually deal with the coins on the exchange itself. So with PancakeSwap, that one was an Ethereum-based one, right? Or is that Cardano? No, Uniswap is Ethereum-based. Let's use Uniswap as an example. With Uniswap, all you can deal with is ERC20 tokens. You can't swap for a coin that's on Solana's blockchain. You can't swap for a coin on BNB's chain. So that's usually how decentralized exchanges worked. But now, PancakeSwap, with this partnership that they got going, is kind of making DeFi a little bit more DeFi, which is pretty cool. So let's go through this article to hear how this is going to be working. So PancakeSwap now offers one-click cross-chain swaps across protocol, aiming to reduce bridge risks and improve DeFi user experience across Arbitron, Base, and BNB chain. So the decentralized exchange PancakeSwap has launched one-click cross-chain swaps using a cross-protocol. Now, aiming to address one of the most pressing user experience issues in decentralized finance, the integration allows users to swap assets without using complex blockchain bridges or other external third-party infrastructures that complicate the user experience and incur additional fees. Now, Cross's intent-based transfers allow users to simply define their desired outcomes, such as swapping USDC on Base for wrapped Ether on Arbitron. And a network of relayers competes to fulfill the transaction. Now, one-click cross-chain swaps enable token swaps directly through Pancake's interface among BNB chain, Arbitron, and Base, simplifying token transfers across siloed blockchain networks. So here's like a little example of it. Like, this is how usually all blockchain exchanges work. The top coin is the one you want to trade. The bottom coin is the one you got to get. So it used to be where for PancakeSwap, I guess just BNB tokens. So you can switch for any BNB token out there. But now you have more options with Arbitron, Base, and BNB chain. So you can swap between many tokens now. Now, historically, cross-chain activity has relied on blockchain bridges, which has been proven to be a vulnerable situation sometimes. In 2022, Axie Infinity's Ronin bridge was drained for more than $600 million worth of cryptocurrency in one of the largest crypto exploits in history. The hack targeted a private key multi-signature scheme, which is a security measure that ultimately proved inadequate. Now, cross-chain swaps using intent-based bridges are generally safer because they don't lock your assets in a contract, which reduces the risk of exploits, said Chef Kidd, the head chef at PancakeSwap. Now, instead, swaps are settled in real time through a decentralized network of relayers, and this setup improves security and gives users a smoother, faster experience, he added. Now, institutions see potential in simplified DeFi. So intent-based cross-chain swaps will make DeFi's infrastructure safer, faster, and easier to integrate with existing systems. And now this could unlock the next wave of institutional DeFi adoption. Chef Kids told Cointelegraph, adding that cross-chain swaps reduce operational complexity, It lowers smart contract risk by avoiding asset lockups and offers clearer execution paths. Now, Hart Lambert, co-founder of Across, also sees intent-based blockchain infrastructures as the key to onboarding institutions in retail. It delivers security, auditability, and clean execution without the operational overhead that's typically required to interact across chains, he told Cointelegraph. Now, other protocols have also been working on cross-chain transfer solutions to remove the friction associated with blockchain bridges. In October of 2024, Unchained proposed ERC 7683, which is a standard that streamlines cross-chain transactions by formalizing how information is sent across different networks. Now, this allows a decentralized network of solvers to pick up orders from any protocol. Now, Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin has expressed his support for the ERC 7683, calling it an open standard for making cross-chain orders. Now, Across, which is also integrated with Uniswap X and has a decentralized network of 30 solvers who quickly fill the users with their own funds on a destination chain, and then they take on the finality risk of it. Now, swaps take an average of 3 seconds. Elsewhere, DEX aggregator 1inch deployed its Pathfinder update on June 10th, claiming to offer 6.5% better swap rates while also making transactions faster and more seamless. So a lot of these decentralized exchanges out there are just getting better and better, just as the rest of the crypto ecosystem out there. So pretty cool. I'll probably give this a try and let you know how it works, because again, I prefer dealing with the DeFi space than the centralized space out there. So if I will make a trade of a coin, I'm never going to Coinbase, Binance, Gemini to swap that coins, because I don't want Big Brother Uncle Sam knowing what I'm doing with my crypto transactions. I keep everything on the DeFi side. I got my own self-custody wallet that has nothing linked to my name on it. I use DeFi platforms to make my trades, so that way they're anonymous. And then that way, if I ever sell cryptocurrency, that is a taxable event. So that will be the only thing I would be reporting on. So just little things you can do in the space out there. And yeah, I will definitely probably be trying this swap feature out there and let you know how it goes. So that's our decentralized exchange news. Now let's move on to the metaverse news. Is it back or is it not? Let's find out. So is the metaverse back? Solana token for VR game explodes. The virtual reality metaverse game VerseWorld launched a Solana token via pumped off fund that skyrocketed to a $112 million market cap. So Mark Zuckerberg is rubbing his hands while watching the Solana trenches after a token launched on Pumped Off Fund got degens talking about the metaverse again. Now, VerseWorld, a virtual reality metaverse game, released a token on Monday which surged to $112.8 million market capitalization within hours before retracing to $54 million, according to a DEX screener. Now, the token was launched via Solana's Pumped Off Fund Launchpad, according to a VerseWorld's official X account, and 45% of the token supply has been bought up for the community rewards, 15% is allocated to the team and advisors, and 14% of the project's treasury. Now, the project's pseudonymous founder, Mika Verse, said in the VerseWorld Discord that the community tokens will be linearly unlocked over 5 years. Team and advisors will be unlocked with a 1-year cliff and a 1-year vesting period, he said, and the treasury will be a community voted. Now, back to the metaverse ? The VerseWorld token launch has come as a surprise to much of the industry, given that hype around the metaverse has declined from its 2021 highs. The metaverse reached fever pitch in 2021, driven in part by pandemic-era isolation. At its peak, even Facebook renamed its parent company as Meta in a bid to dominate the space, while dozens of crypto metaverse platforms promise to take users into a decentralized, persistent virtual world. Decentralized Mana token peaked at a market cap of $6.9 billion, and the Sandbox similarly touched $6.8 billion as well. But the hype quickly died down, with both Decentraland and the Sandbox tokens now down 95% from their all-time highs. And Meta's Metaverse division, meanwhile, has recorded approximately $70 billion in losses. So it appears that the VerseWorld attracted most of its hype in 2022, with several videos of influencers testing the products going viral, including the likes of content creators Still Real Adult and Gary V. Vaynerchuk. Now, by 2024, the game was ready for a public launch, branded as the world's most hyper-realistic VR world. Now, here is that tweet from them. With over 2 years of developments, numerous blue-chip companies as clients, and backing from video games, Web 3.0 industry leaders, we built the world's most hyper-realistic VR metaverse, and we're opening to public. So let's see what this ad is. So here is the CEO. All right, so it does look a little bit better than how Mana or Decentraland and Sandbox is. I think I've actually heard about these guys developing this. This does look like a very realistic virtual world. Let's see. So they're giving access codes for early access. You need an NFT to be able to use it. And let's see. So this is all the metaverse right here. Is this even him in there in the metaverse talking? I can't even tell. Or is this an ad? So that kind of looks AI generated. I'm just saying, it kind of looks AI generated. But let's see. So they're testing it out in different areas. So that's real. This one I'm still questioning. Let's see. So here's some more of the world. You got in-game play. Okay, so this does look like a really fun metaverse world. So we'll see how they do with it. But the Verse World released 2 Solana NFT collections back in 2022, granting access to the in-game Billionaire style mansion. The New York NFTs are down 57% since this time of 2024. And then the game's Discord has also slowed down in activity, with just 2 posts in the announcement channel this year, both in January, and it also appears that the social feed and giveaway channels were discontinued in 2024 as well. Now, internet capital markets versus world's token launch ties into an emerging concept of internet capital markets, which refers to creating crypto tokens as a means to fund or market their projects. Now, this trend first appeared back in 2024, and this was with the launch of the Vinecoin by the Old School Video Apps co-founder Russ Yusupov. Now, in 2025, countless products have launched their tokens and whatnot. Now, with its Verse token surging, Versus World has launched an in-game campaign that tasks players with finding a series of relics and complete trials for some tokens. With traders now downloading the game, it's only a matter of time before the market decides if it's worth the hype. So we'll see if this game does actually succeed or not. Again, like in the previous years, the metaverse has been just in the lull period. These guys have also been like only posting like very little in their Discord channels. Like I think the last one was in January, they just said. And so we'll see if it plays out. Again, you need a fun game, and you just really need to make it fun and easy to use. You don't need to have a special computer to run it. If it can run on any single computer, then it's solid out there. But again, most important thing is that it's fun. It's coming back in a time when, again, Metaverse has just been out of the loop now. So we'll see if they can make a comeback, and we'll let you know and keep you updated on that. Now, lastly in the news, we're going to cover how my neighbor Alice partners with Pudgy Penguins to launch a new game zone called Pudgy Land. So Pudgy Penguins is in the news. The Walmart stuffed animal that came with an NFT and gives you some rights is back in the news again. So Pudgy NFT holders will have exclusive access to Pudgy Land, a dedicated area in My Neighbor Alice, built for interaction and exploration and crafting. Now, My Neighbor Alice, or MNA, is a blockchain-based multiplayer builder game, has partnered with Pudgy Penguins to introduce a new in-game region called Pudgy Land. The collaboration enables full integration of Pudgy Penguins, Little Pudgies, and Pudgy Rods, the NFT collections in the MNA universe. Now, notably, the partnerships coincide with the launch of Chapter 1, A New Beginning, on June 17th, marking a fresh start for the game. Now, MNA players can now explore new quests and winter-themed content in a newly added environment called Snowflake Wilds. This area is part of a broader Pudgy Land experience. Now, exclusive Pudgy Land features for the NFT holders. NFT holders from Pudgy community will have exclusive access to Pudgy Land and a zone with My Neighbor Alice designed for the social interaction and exploration and crafting. Now, all 8,888 Pudgy Penguins, 22,222 Little Pudgies, and 7,399 Pudgy Rods will be rendered as unique 3D avatars inside the MNA world. Now, these NFTs can be used as playable characters, starting off as eggs that will hatch into the user's specific asset, and holders can customize their profiles with pudgy traits and use pudgy rods to engage with themed fishing mechanisms. Now, these features add a depth to the immersive experience in Pudgy Land. And my neighbor Alice's VP of Games, Steve Hasenberg, described the integration as a major step toward blockchain interoperability. He said that the project has made over 40,000 Pudgy NFTs, and they're all functional in-game as native 3D assets, enabling new forms of users-driven content and gameplay. Now, is this a new NFT gameplay? The MNA, or My Neighbor Alice update, introduces new Pudgy-themed content, including non-player characters, NPCs, interactive quests, a craftable wearable items tailored to the NFT holders. Players can also create emotes tied to their NFTs and also sell them others within the M&A ecosystem. Now, while several features are exclusive to Pudgy holders, the seasonal update also includes general quest and winter-themed items available to all players. Now, this blend of exclusive and accessible content is designed to attract both new users and existing NFT communities. Now, looking ahead, the collaboration marks the beginning of a broader initiative to integrate the more NFT projects into Alice's metaverse. And My Neighbor Alice aims to foster a cross-collection of interoperability while expanding its open-world community-driven gameplay. So that's what's going on over here with My Neighbor Alice's world and My Pudgy Penguin. So sorry, guys, I got my little tool on my wrist to help me quit vaping. But no, lots of metaverse news going on. So we got the verse being released. We got My Neighbor Alice with Pudgy Penguin. So I don't know. Is metaverse making a comeback? These are just two separate articles within the same day. So we'll see. So again, we're getting a lot more altcoin news. So that could be a sign that maybe alt season is just around the corner or coming up. Right now, nothing's changed on CoinMarketCap's numbers. We are still at a 32 for altcoin season. Fear and Greed Index is 65. Bitcoin still 109, 500 right there. But no, with all this more news coming with altcoins out there, narrative's kind of changing again, because this past year has been nothing but Bitcoin news. Bitcoin adoption, Bitcoin reserve, this country, that, this, and it's just... So that's why I just had the thought on, like, yeah, alt season got delayed. We just got to wait till the momentum comes back for it. And looks like it might be coming back, so keep an eye on Ethereum. So that's going to be the main one to see when alt season really pumps. So watch ETH. If it goes to 4,000, we could be in the start of it. So just be glad you're holding to your little alt bags out there. And what I'm doing, again, my strategy's changed. Whatever I have in my little portfolio, that's definitely gone down. When they pump, I'm just putting it into Bitcoin. I'm not taking any stable coin out there like USDT or USDC. I'm going straight into Bitcoin because, again, I just don't think there's going to be that bear market anymore. I agree with Sailor, and I had that thought way before that article came through. So if you're trying to follow like what my strategy is or how you're going to take profit, I'm going to take profit by just holding on to Bitcoin. And that's what I'm doing. So everybody, I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Thank you for being here and tuning in to the live show. Thank you, Randy, for tuning in out there. I see ya. And guys, I will be back tomorrow at noon again with more news. Again, tonight on the BBTV channel. If you're not following them on YouTube, check them out as my channel, as well as all of our other shows here at the club. But tonight at 5 o'clock is Women's Voices with Clara Bow. So I will see you there. So take care, guys. Peace. Love ya.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges, it's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.